why riders suffer defeats. It's because Sphinx is no fun.
Alright, so we are in game, so the first ship in the red team side is seriously Firelock, piloted by Aoi and Fox. It's a spire with the lumberjack, Artemis, flag, and a flamer. Next one is Kissthorn, piloted by Hellfire. Okay, Banshee, Artemis, Gatling, and Mercury. Go ahead.
And piloted by Daniel, we have the Fancy Ferry for the Riderhood. It is a mobula with a top deck Gatling, a left side Banshee, a lower left Hades, a lower... Oh no, sorry, top deck Mercury, a lower left Gatling, and a flare gun on the far left slot. I know you got left and right mixed up at the start there, but hopefully that was clear. And we also have a mobula piloted by Trivi, the Armageddon's Edge. It has Artemai on the wings, a Mercury on the top deck, and a Carronade Flamer on the bottom deck. This tells me that we are on Dooms and that the random number generator also hates fun. Seriously, Firelock taking a lot of damage, goes down. Kissed Thorn almost completely destroyed. One hit will do them too, and that's 2-0 to the Riderhood.
Yeah, that was actually very quick kills. It's like, what, 2 minutes in the game?
I'm not even sure it's that. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I'm not a fan of bringing a Spire on Dunes. I think it's a very big risk, especially against two mobulas, especially if your opponent has a Hades, which at least one of these mobulas does.
Yeah.
And an Artemai can be very effective against a Spire because the cluster of components makes a Burst Artemis very effective against the Spire's big advantage, which is massive firepower.
That's true, but seriously, Firelock has the Lumberjack, which is, I think, one of the Mobula's weaknesses because Mobula has a pretty big balloon.
I yes and no. I think I disagree with that. To be honest with you, Kaj. In a standard lobby, a lot of the time that's true, but really decent pilots, and these two here are very decent pilots, are very good at dodging lumberjack shots. It can take 3 or 4 full clips to land, even with very good gunners, enough shots to break a balloon on a mobula at range.
All right, so that's a challenge.
And all
for
that
me
time,
then.
you've got an Artemis.
Oh god.
Already seriously Firelock taking a lot of, well, fire.
Yeah, on the long range distance, actually, seriously, Firelock has some serious problems in there. I hope the engineers are doing what they can in order to stay alive. Meanwhile,
I suspect they're all very busy right now.
yeah, I hope so. Kistarn is trying to support by shooting Fancy Fairy, which has half of their health and might go down here.
Oh, a couple more hits and one of these two will explode. The question is which one?
Yeah.
You watch now, they'll both just sit here for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to say, like, we will find out next time on Subject 1004 show. And now some...
Oh, Armageddon's Edge taking some perma damage here. The Hades coming in on the Fancy Firelock, and oh, down goes the Armageddon's Edge. Maybe a little bit too far forward. It's not clear, but they suffered a lot of fire there. Focus from the Firelock and from its mobular ally. Oh, but a break on the Firelock here. They've got to destroy Fancy before it kills them.
So seriously, Firelock now is too close, I think, for the Lumberjack to be effective. So they need to go back so the arming time on the Lumberjack will be sufficient. Okay.
And they managed to pull back and do exactly what you said. Keep the mobular nice and low with minimal arcs from their guns, at least their downward pointing ones, and Now it's 2 apiece.
Alright, so back with the lumberjack and the mobula. Like you are right that with the pretty skilled pilot, the mobula can dodge some shots from the lumberjack, but still, the first shot, if it's like perfectly aimed and shot, it will take out I don't know numbers, but like a pretty amount of balloon there. So you will try to hydrogen or just go down to dodge the incoming lumberjacks. But if a gunner knows what or can predict what the other pilot is doing, then he can land other shots almost almost at the same quality. So in my opinion, I think lumberjack is now very efficient against Mobula, but still, Lumberjack. I mean, Artemis is way better.
I think there's probably a little bit of room for debate there. Certainly, if you have a say a lumberfish and you can get underneath a mobula, that can be utterly lethal because the mobula has very limited ability to dodge. The vertical arcs make it more about fore aft motion than it is about up down motion,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
uh, and uh, as you say, once you've landed 2 or 3 grease shots or 1 burst shot or heaven forbid one Lochniger shot, that's it. Your mobula is no longer able to avoid your lumberjack and it's going to get balloon locked.
Yeah.
But
So go ahead.
oh no, I was just going to say we got Fancy Fairy coming in here. I think they're unspotted. If they get arcs on that spire, it might be yep. There we go. Spire goes down almost immediately. I'm not sure if that was much support from the Fancy Fairy there, or if it was from mostly Armageddon's Edge. But now Kissthorn is having to pull back.
Indeed, Keystone is now 2 against 1, which is not the best idea. Right now, Fancy Fairy is taking some damages to their hull, but nothing too serious. Meanwhile, Keystone is getting nailed into the armor and the balloon. Now they're lost armor and they are losing hull pretty fast, so they might go down here very soon. Seriously, Firelock just spawned and maybe try to support their teammate with some lumberjack shots.
At the moment, Kissthorn is actually doing a decent job outmaneuvering the Fancy Fairy and the Armageddon's Edge, which is not an easy thing to do in a mobula, and they're not exactly the most maneuverable of ships. And here we get to see Kaj's version of the Lumberjack OP theory. Nice shots from the Seriously Firelock, hitting the Armageddon's Edge, popping their balloon. They're going to try and duck into hard cover. The question is, can they make it? Oh, Fancy Fairy's armor down. Took a number of nasty hits there.
Indeed, Fancy Fairy lost their armor for a bit, but managed to get back up, so they have, let's say, 70% of their health on hull. But
Ooh, Armageddon's Edge sitting in front of the spire there, that could end very poorly if they've sat at grease range and that lumberjack gets decent arcs. But they managed to go high. They do get popped, they are dropping, but the Seriously Firelock's balloon is also pretty badly damaged. Armageddon's Edge's armor's down. Fancy Fairy coming in for a mobula ram on the Kissthorn, I think. Oh no,
we'll
wait,
see.
I'm just looking at it from a completely ridiculous angle. Just trying to get close here. Oh, that Mobula Rams are my favourite pillow snuffs. But no, Kissthorn just taking standard hits here. Fancy Fairy getting into effective range for their weapons, but not looking to ram as much as I'd hoped.
Yeah, seriously, Firelock managed to disable Armageddon's Edge for a bit, so they can support their teammate with the Fancy Fairy, but Keystone will die here soon, and seriously, Firelock has to deal with Armageddon's Edge again.
Yep, another armor break on the Seriously Firelock. This is what I was referring to earlier. Yeah, the Armageddon's Edge's balloon has gone down, but once they get back up into arcs with their Artemis or their Mercury, then that's a serious problem for that lumberjack because it's not going to be up. They're going to be firing at that constantly, at least until they can get close enough that it's inside arming time.
Yeah, well, then it depends on the situation and how. Okay, then that was Armageddon's Edge ram kill. Or Mario style.
Modular rams are still best rams. Unless you're a junker.
Yeah, so 10 minutes remaining.
I'm not sure we're going to have to make use of that. Kissthorn has virtually no perma, is sitting in front of the Fancy Fairy.
Indeed.
The Armageddon's Edge can lend rain support. Yep, there we go. Down it goes.
Alright, so blue team wins, which is, well, I think it's Team Riderhood. Yes, so